something called the brand called You. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe more than a couple of weeks ago, we had a small workshop that we had in the office, which was done by Anirudh. And in that workshop, what we did was we spoke about the brand values of the company. But before the company, why aren't you focusing on yourself? Why not build a brand for yourself? It's just as equally important, right? Some of you may not be in the company in the next 10 years, some of you may will be, but in order to build a brand, you have to start now. If you haven't, you should start now. Maybe there are some of you out there who've already started doing it. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, everyone here has their own brand. And it's started at a very nascent stage. It started when you were a kid. The way you talk, the way you handle yourself, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way your aesthetic is, the people you hang out with, the education you've had, etc., etc. Everything adds to a brand value. Now, that being said, have you ever thought about what people think when you're not in the room? There are three types of people, or there are three types of thoughts that people have. One is what people say to your face. Usually honest, usually brutally honest. Maybe there are some people who also lie, but it is still one of the type of people. They say it to your face. Second are the type of people who speak behind your back. Now, those aren't the type of people you should be hanging out with anyway. But there are always people like that, and that is their brand. People like to gossip, people like to start rumors, and that's just the brand that they have. And it works for them. So, the second type of person is the person who speaks behind your back. Now, what we often forget is there's a third type of person. And that third type of person is the person who speaks when you're not in the room. And that has only to do with what you stand for. If you stand for a lazy bum who doesn't get work done, who procrastinates, who speaks ill about others around the office, that's exactly what people are going to say when you're not in the room. Hell, they might even say it to your face. But this is important in order to build a brand. This is important to know. If you guys are not thinking of what people are saying about you in the room, there's a gap. Because you should know this. It's very important to understand what people are saying about you. Because A, it could be wrong. It could be an observation that has gone wrong. Or B, it could be absolutely right, but there could be some improvements. And everyone should think about that. Now, a personal brand equals to reputation. It's important to have a reputation, whether it's good or bad. A lot of people have bad reputations, but they still have a reputation. And always remember, a reputation precedes you. Now, what does this mean? There are a lot of people in this office who I still have not met yet. I don't know their names. I don't know what they do. I don't know what tech they work on, but I know they're around. And vice versa. What reputation precedes you means is that before even meeting me, there is a preconceived notion about me. Now, many of you could have a positive notion about me. Many of you could have a negative notion. But that is the reputation that precedes you. Now, in order to disprove someone or in order to support their thoughts, you have to build it first. Now, without building, you won't have a brand. Now, what's important for the brand is to have a story. Nothing happens without a story. Now, moving on, a brand is what people think, feel, or say about you. It's not about ego or vanity. And what that means is when you're talking about yourself online or anywhere else, the point is not to show off, or the point is not to show yourself in a higher position and bring someone down. No, that is vanity, that is ego. What you're talking about is you are branding yourself, you are marketing yourself. Now, just a quick difference of what these two things are. Marketing is why a girl would want to date me, right? But branding is what makes her want to stay. These are the two differences of what marketing and branding is. So, it's not about ego or vanity. Be true to yourself. Authenticity and consistency matters. And why? We spend, say, 30, 40 years in our career, maybe doing the same thing, maybe doing new things, maybe evolving ourselves into something that we want to achieve. But without you consistently working on your brand, there is no story to be told. And without a story to be told, can you still hear me? And without a story to be told, there's no use of having a brand because brand and story go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Now, what a story or a brand should do is it should deliver some value to other people. Now, what is the slogan or the tagline of Josh? It's that we deliver real value, correct? And that's as straightforward as possible. Because the work that we deliver, the work our delivery team delivers, the work our admin team and the work our support staff do, delivers some type of value to people. And that is why they're important. Similarly, your brand, your reputation should deliver some value. We live in a very hyper-connected world. Everyone knows everyone. Just for an example, a city like Pune, everyone literally knows everyone. I have, say, 1,000 followers on LinkedIn and 500 plus connections. And that's me. Someone who's just started their career maybe 10 years ago. Someone like Gautam probably has over 15,000 connections, probably has over 20,000 followers. He has a consistent brand that he's built throughout his 30 years in the world of IT. So that is the difference that connects you to your past and that connects you to your future as well, the hyper-connected world. So why does a personal brand matter? When you go out to a mall or you go out to a store and you buy, say, a pair of Air Jordan shoes, can anyone ask me why you do that? You like shoes? Logos? Okay. But why the logo? Because of the brand value. Correct and also incorrect. So when we say, I'll take Puma for example. When we go to a shop and buy Puma shoes, it's not for the logo. It's for the people that are connected to the logo. Now, a lot of you know that I'm an avid Virat Kohli fan. And Virat Kohli for me means Puma. So when I go to a shop and I want to shop for shoes, and I see a pair of Puma shoes, I'm going to think, oh, Virat Kohli wears that. I want to wear that too because I want to be like Virat Kohli. I love the guy's brand. So you're actually mirroring someone's brand, and that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine to take certain elements of your brand from someone else. That is how a brand is built. You can't have a completely 100% genuine brand that you build from scratch without having some sort of appreciation for someone else's. Now, your brand also opens doors for you. That could be at work, that could be meeting new friends, it could be having an opportunity to travel the world, etc., etc. Your brand is important that it's supposed to open doors for you that have never been opened before. That is why it is so important to keep building it from day 1 to day 50 to day 100 to day, etc., etc. Every day there should be something that adds on to your brand. Like I said, we live in a hyper-connected world. So what is it that makes you want to stay out? Stay out from the clutter. Stay out from the 350 people who you work with at Josh. What makes you different? It's the brand that you portray. It's the reputation that you have. Now, there are 3 pillars to having a brand. Okay? One is, of course, like I said, building a strong reputation. Define what you want to be known for. Now, in this, authenticity is very important. A lot of people I've seen online just rambling about things just because they search it on GPT and then they pour it out on LinkedIn. Now, this doesn't mean ChatGPT is the right or wrong way to do it. No. But you should have an initial thought that is very genuine and very authentic to what you believe in. Yes, use ChatGPT to fix it. Yes, use ChatGPT to beautify it and give it an aesthetic look. That's absolutely fine. Now, consistency is important. If any of you follow Gautam or Setu on LinkedIn, you will see that every month there are at least two posts each that they do about thought leadership. Does anyone follow that? Does anyone read those posts? Nobody? Yes? Do you remember something that he's written? Anything? Do you recall his style of writing? Can you distinguish between Gautam and Setu's writing? Mm-hmm. And Setu's?
Cheetos is more technical as
Correct. Yes. So one tells the story of a startup. The second tells the story of how the startup was built using tech. Now these are two very distinguished brands that they portray here. And it's very visible. When Gautam is standing here and he asks everyone to come and join for his talk demo, everyone is here within 30 seconds. Why? Because he gives off that energy. He gives off an energy that you want to listen to him. हाँ भाई कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा. Let's go listen to him. But when Setu's there, he's more technical. Setu doesn't speak much, but the things he does say are very impactful. So that's why when thought leadership comes into play, there are very two different distinguished brands that both of them put up. And they've been consistent with this. Also, it has to do with credibility. Like you said, Gautam's posts are very story like, but there are always proof of concepts to his posts. He goes back 17 years into the life of Josh and talks about stories where a bank was not giving him a loan. And these are all true stories. Every one of the story that Gautam writes on his LinkedIn, or even Setu for that matter, are all real. You know why? Because people see right through bullshit. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what it is. You be fake online and everyone will see through it. So, important part is to be very honest. Make mistakes. It's fine. Importance of networking. A lot of people are shy, and that's cool. It works for them. But you should also be open to expanding your horizons and meeting people. It helps. It helps amplify your story to the outer world. Now, when we talk about writing content or we talk about giving some value, don't we also want to take? When I read someone's post, say Simon Sinek's post on LinkedIn, it's because I want something from him. I want some type of learning. I want some type of lesson. I want some gem from him that I'm waiting for. But should I also be giving? Yes. It's also important to contribute to other people. Now, I have a lot of stories to tell. I've seen a lot of failure in business. I've seen a lot of failure at school. I've seen a lot of failure in college. So, if anyone here follows me on LinkedIn, I have a lot of stories that I write which connect to people who have failed, which connect to people who don't have an answer. So, those type of people are my audience. Now, that's not all I write about. There are also things that I write about in marketing. There are things I write about of stories that I've had through my part in startups. So it's very important and imperative to carve out your niche. You should understand your audience. Everyone is not your audience. And if everyone is your audience, you're doing it absolutely wrong. If you're standing here and 10 people are listening to you, and 5 of those people actually come to you and ask questions, or maybe they want to learn more, they want to know more, they want to have a discussion with me, maybe out of those 5 people, one person is so new, I've never even seen them in the office, but they came and talked to me. For example, that is reaching the right audience. So, knowing your audience never happens with the snap of a finger. It takes years and years and years of consistent brand value to actually know your audience. The last part of this pillar is to diversify. Most of you are in tech, most of you are engineers, most of you have done computer engineering or one type of or some specific type of engineering. But is that the only type of people you should be hanging out with or you should be networking with? Absolutely not. Even within the company, there are a bunch of people who do many things. Say Prathamesh, for example, while also working in talent acquisition, he also runs a travel shop. Now, does that mean he runs all over the place? No. He does that because he uses his networking to his advantage, and that helps his other business, correct? Right. So, always diversify the type of people you work with. The third pillar, content creation. Without content, there is no story. And without no story, there is no content. So what is it that you put up on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook for that matter? What is it you put up? It should also portray your expertise in something specific. Now, I'll ask Sakshi, what do you like? What do you like to write about? Sports, right? Why is that's because you were a swimmer in school. So she has the expertise of being a national swimmer, a national swimmer. That's why she has stories that she can share of successes, failures, and many other things in the realm of sports. And that's why when we had Suyash Turak here on stage, she was so excited to meet him because she related with him. She related to his struggles. And that is the brand that we have to build. The brand that Suyash Turak built, she was the perfect audience for that. Even if it was one person in the entire office that came and listened to his talk, it's a win for him. You should be speaking at different webinars and conferences and panels. Why? Because A, you're giving to someone, you're giving your expertise, your thoughts, your learnings, but also you are training yourself to stand up and talk to people. A lot of people are shy, and again, that's cool if you're shy. But you should always try to step out of that zone where you're scared. One thing that helped me when I was a kid, so I always didn't, I always wasn't able to talk to a bunch of people. But the one time that I failed, my teacher at that time, she told me, go and talk in front of a mirror. What that does is, it's you in the mirror, but psychologically, your brain thinks that you're talking to someone else. So when that happens, you're more calm because you see your face, but as someone else. So try to do that sometime. If you're shy of talking to people, just say what you want to say in front of a mirror. But try. You have to take the first step. And if you don't show your faces, if you don't give your expertise on a public platform, the amplification of your story, of your brand will never succeed. Building profiles on social media is equally important. LinkedIn, yes, for business, for connections, for industry. Twitter, for thoughts, maybe some jokes here and there, maybe some trolling that people do. But that's cool, right? If it speaks to you, if it speaks to someone else, you're winning at life, right? You're winning at building that brand. Now, sustaining your brand long term, what are some things that you have to do? So, continuous learning. And I'll get to this at the end of my talk. But you should always continue learning. Like Gautam always says, learn something every year. And that is so cool, right? Because the things that I'm talking about right now, they'll be completely different next year because I would have learned something different. I have some expertise to give. And not only that, I'm more prone to making mistakes if I'm learning something new. Now, if I started to learn, say Python, I know nothing about coding, but say if I were to learn Python, I would probably make a lot of mistakes, right? But I would always follow and I would always keep looking at people who are working on Python and try to get something from them. Because that's the give and take relationship that you should have when you're building a brand. The feedback loop, very important. It's very disheartening sometimes that some people don't like to get feedback. Why? Why are you scared of learning the truth about yourself? Why? It's only going to make you feel better, right? It's only going to make you feel better on the long run if that's what you want. Because that is exactly how you keep building on top. Make mistakes, it's fine. There are so many mistakes I make daily, but I learn from them. Sometimes I repeat them, sometimes I never do again. But it's always important to get into the feedback loop. Now, the third one is the compounding effect. Each post that you put, each comment that you make, each connection adds to your network, adds to another possible audience that your brand can be amplified to. So keep connecting with people, keep commenting on people's posts, and keep keep making new posts. It's very important to do that. Now, just bringing it all together, the key takeaways. Building a strong reputation requires clarity, consistency, and credibility. Don't try to be something that you're not. People can see through it. So just be genuine. If you have a story about something, just say it out loud. It's fine. Network with authenticity. When you're in front of someone, you never lie, right? Now, if I were meeting Vinayak for the first time, I wouldn't tell him that I like to paraglide for no reason. It doesn't make sense because he'll see right through it. So then why do it online? There's no reason to. Even if you don't know these people, again, reputation precedes you. The day they will meet you, they will judge you. And that's how it works, whether we like it or not. Work on your profile. Everything that you do is imperative because it adds value not to the company, not to just you, but everything around you, your network, your family, your friends, everywhere. And sustain the efforts. Continuous learning, feedback loops are imperative. Learn from them, act on them. Now, there's a quick exercise I want to do with all of you. It'll take probably just 5 to 6 minutes. But people who want to understand what their story is, what their brand is, it's very important to do this exercise. Now, I was around, I think 16 when I did this exercise for the first time, and it was too fun. And the first time I did it, it was completely different because the end of this exercise, I'll show you what I actually have now. But the first step is what I want you to do is everyone close your eyes, take 3 minutes, and depending on your ages, think about everything that you've done in those X number of years. Push it all down into a quick story. People that you've met, successes, wins, incidents, anything, and push it down to 3 minutes. You don't have to speak it out loud, it's just for you. Now, I want you to close your eyes again, take 2 minutes, and envision the next 10 years of your life. Things that you want to succeed in, things that you want to achieve, awards that you may want to win, people that you may want to meet, and the person that you want to be. Envision it. Be imaginative. Okay, I hope everyone has thought of what they want in the next 10 years. The next step is you see a couple of magazines behind me. I want you to select one magazine that connects to whatever you thought of. Now, these are just examples. You could probably have other magazines in mind, Seema, like the one you told me. But try to connect it to a certain magazine. Then what I want you to do is imagine yourself on the cover of that magazine. Everyone has seen what magazines look like, so you know what the cover is. Now imagine yourself, imagine your face on the cover of a magazine that reaches millions of people around the world. Have you ever thought of what it would say? Why it's important to do this exercise is because you get to understand where you want to reach. Now, I did this exercise again just for the sake of this talk that I'm giving. And when I was 24, I was nominated for 30 under 30. Now, I didn't win, but that's something that always rubbed me the wrong way, that I didn't win. Because at 24, I would have been the youngest person in India to win 30 under 30. I didn't. But that didn't stop me from working towards something else. Now, what I want to do is, I want to be 40 under 40. So if I would choose Forbes. And I would say reinventing storytelling. Because that's what I like to do. That is what my brand is based on. Not only do I like telling stories, I also like extracting them. So I'm giving and taking. So think about what your headline actually says. It's very important to understand what it says because it gives you a straight answer of what you want. So, if anyone wants help, if anyone wants to understand more about how a brand is built or how you should be posting things online, what things you should be doing to amplify your brand, I will be taking a mentorship workshop sometime very soon. But and if you want to contact me about that, do not come to my desk. Although everyone knows where I sit, don't come to my desk. Don't message me on Google. We're a tech company. We use tech. So there's something that's coming very soon. I won't give too much information about it. But we have something called Mentor Gain coming very soon. Polysema will fill you guys in next week. But till then, always remember in a world where everyone competes for attention, authenticity is what makes you unforgettable. In the advent of adding to your net worth, do not forget your net worth. Thank you, everyone.